welcome to Hunger Bites. I'm your host, Chef Keita, and I have a very special friend of mine here today. Her name is Kate.
Hi.
She is a senior at GCIT in the culinary program. So she's like a chef junior, right? Even though she's taught me a few things already. She also is our nutrition assistant at the Food Bank of South Jersey. You want to talk about that position real quick?
Yeah, so I work at the Food Bank of South Jersey. I'm a nutrition assistant, and I teach online classes to everybody who joins our classes, and we talk about nutrition.
Yeah, nutrition and healthy eating, right? Yeah, and she actually went through our Why Not program at the Food Bank of South Jersey, which is a program where we talk to kids, usually high school kids, and we teach them how to do a presentation live. So at the end of the six times that we meet with the students, it's usually a 6-week kind of thing, but because of the pandemic going on, we kind of are able to schedule virtually, and that means that it's not exactly every 6 weeks. That's why I'm kind of going over the 6-week mark. But once you get to the 6th week, you get to present a healthy recipe, and if you do really well, you become a nutrition assistant, which Kate is at the Food Bank of South Jersey. So she's able to help us teach in the counties that we serve: Burlington, Camden, Gloucester, and Salem County. So welcome, Kate.
Thank you.
And today we are actually going to be talking about takeout. So as all of you viewers know, takeout is not the most healthiest thing that you can consume, right? But I'm going to today teach you how to make healthier chicken fingers and healthier tacos. So let's get cooking. So here I have 2 pieces of boneless, skinless chicken thighs. And these are what I'm using for our chicken fingers. I've realized that thighs are just way more juicier than breast. But if you have breast at home, use your breast. If you have pork at home, use your pork. As you see on the screen on the recipe, you can substitute even for fish. So feel free to use whatever you have at home. Even if you have a bone in your thigh, feel free to turn that thigh over and cut along that bone and pull that bone out, and then you'll have what these are, which are the boneless, skinless chicken thighs. I did trim them a little bit, take a little bit of that fat off, but for the most part, all you would do at this point is cut the chicken into fingers. Have you ever made chicken fingers, Kate?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, and it's just like this, right?
Yep.
Just cutting them. Don't want them too small, because who wants a small chicken finger, right? So even if you have a piece that's kind of wonky and a little piece like this, it's fine, but you don't want them too big. So these 2 thighs can honestly feed about 3 to 4 people. And because you are cutting them, it ends up stretching that chicken. So you'll end up feeding more family members. And it's a quick way. We have a lot of kid programs that we have at the food bank, and we've used this in the kid programs, and they are excited to make something like this. So here I have a whole wheat flour. Of course, use any flour that you have. I did season this flour. Use any seasoning you want. Try to omit the salt, though. I used paprika, garlic powder, onion powder, and black pepper in here. Try to, like I said, omit that salt. And then I have eggs here that I've whisked. You can use a fork, of course, but 2 to 3 eggs there. And then I actually have cornflakes. So instead of breadcrumbs, if you don't have breadcrumbs, you can use cornflakes. You can also use bran flakes. And if you don't have either of those, use your potato chips. How many times have you had potato chips that, the bottom of it's all crumbs and you're like, you just want to throw them away? Use them in this recipe. It'll work out perfectly. Once you have your cornflakes in the bowl, you do want to crunch them up like so, just to get them nice and small. So when you bread your chicken, you're not having like a whole big cornflake in your mouth. So I'm gonna bread this chicken once I crunch up this cornflakes. So again, it's flour. And feel free to put a few pieces in there, but you do want to make sure you're generous with the breading. You don't want to have any pieces of the chicken that's not coated with your flour, your eggs, and your cornflakes. I'll actually take this and put it to the side a little bit. And as you see here, you're just putting it in your egg, put it in your cornflake here, and you bread it up. And already, if you notice with the with the cornflakes, it's like a brown color. So it's already looking kind of toasty looking. And that will help, with the presentation of your chicken fingers. And then what you want to do is actually spray your baking sheet, which I have here. Spray your baking sheet. That will help crisp up your chicken. I also wanted to mention, if you don't have eggs, use water. Water is a great substitute. If you want to stretch your eggs out, you can use milk and egg in your chicken recipe here. So you just want to kind of go like this, and I made the mistake of actually mixing my hands up, so now I got a little bit of cornflakes in my flour, but that's okay, right? Because they're all going to the same place. So that's okay. So what are you excited about for the summer, Kate? Because you'll be graduating, right?
Yeah, I'm very excited to graduate. I can't wait to have the adult life.
Yeah. So what is your plans after high school?
I actually plan to go to Camden County College for the dietetics program.
Nice program. I actually attended the program at Camden County College, the dietetics program. Shout out to Marsha Patrick. She was my professor over there. Very nice woman. And fun tip is that most of our health and wellness department at the food bank went through the dietetics program at Camden County College. Dietetics, if anyone doesn't know out there, it's like nutrition. So if you can imagine, you have your LP and you have your RN. Once you graduate from your dietetics program, you become a DTR. And then once you continue and graduate after 4 years, you become your RD, which is registered dietitian. So imagine nutritionist. So that's what Kate's going to school for, is to be a nutritionist, which is wonderful because we definitely need more nutritionists out there. So if you notice here, these are our breaded chicken fingers. I'm going to put it in the oven at 375 for about 30 minutes. You do want to test your chicken out. Kate, do you know what the eternal temperature of your chicken should be?
Yes, 165.
165, she wins, yes, 165. So if you do have a thermometer, test your chicken out, try to see if it's at 165. If it's not at 165, do not eat it, right?
Yep.
And why not?
Because you could have the chance of getting salmonella.
Salmonella poisoning, nobody wants that. So moving on, we do have 2 homemade sauces that we're going to be making today. One is a homemade barbecue sauce, and one is a chili pepper relish. We're going to start with the chili pepper relish first. Kate is putting gloves on because if you don't know, peppers in your hands and eyes and nose and mouth can be a deadly combination. Deadly, not literally, figuratively, but still, you just want to protect yourself and put gloves on whenever you're cutting peppers. These peppers here are our sweet peppers. Just going to cut a little bit of the peppers up. This is an orange pepper and a red pepper. And as Kate knows, all peppers grow first as what color? Green, right?
As green, yes.
Green. And then they grow, and in the development stage, they turn to these other beautiful, vibrant colors, last color being red. So Kate's going to just take off a little bit of the pepper, and this is more for demonstrating purposes. I know on the recipe you do see a pound of peppers and chilies and things like that, but she just want to demonstrate, how you slice the pepper up, and then she's going to actually dice the pepper. And if you do have a food processor, throw it in a food processor. It honestly does about the same that you would do with your hands, but I do like to show viewers at home what you can do without a machine. So Kate is cutting these up, dicing them up at this point, and then she's going to throw them right into the pot over here that we have and make that chili pepper relish for us, while I take some of these dirty dishes off of the counter for us. And of course, you want to be careful with any type of chicken you make in your kitchen. You do not want to cross-contaminate or anything like that. So this is why I am taking everything off of the table here now. So Kate, do you have any silver linings through this whole pandemic that we're going through?
Yes. So one of my favorite things that I did during the pandemic, and I'm still doing, is cooking. It's a good way that I relieve my stress, and
Nice.
I also enjoy going outside and going camping. So that's another thing that I've been doing during this pandemic.
Nice. Yeah, cooking could relieve some stress. It's nice to know what does relieve your stress because, during this pandemic, I think we all kind of was put under some type of stress. And to know what you need to relieve that stress is very important. Mental health is, of course, very important. We talk about it a lot in our classes. And if we can bring, cooking and good food, I'm always big on, eating and things like that. So that's wonderful, Kate. Now Kate is cutting up a jalapeno pepper. She probably just cut probably about that much. And again, this is just to show you at home how to do it. This is not to be determining how much portion size you should be doing at home. But Kate will be leaving a few of the seeds in. The seeds are actually the spice of this recipe. So again, this is why Kate's using gloves. This is why you want to kind of limit how many seeds. If you don't want it too spicy, if you don't want it spicy at all, take your seeds out and think about your pepper before you use it. Right now we're using jalapeno, serrano peppers, and habanero peppers. Habanero is very spicy, and again, leaving those seeds in will make it even more spicier. So if you don't like too much spice, take those seeds out, or just omit the peppers as it is. Oh, I think it just got into my throat. Omit those peppers altogether. So we're good with that, Kate, if you want to put those in the pot there.
Okay.
And then what we'll do is cut a little bit of that serrano pepper. And Kate's just putting these peppers on the side. We'll, of course, use them later. And yeah, use any peppers you have at home. I garden a lot, so I usually have a bunch of peppers. This is a great way. This chili pepper relish is a great way to use those peppers up. You could freeze it and give it out to the family. Everyone in my family, well, I don't say everyone, but most people in my family like a spicy sauce. So you can add this to anything, your eggs in the morning, your pizza at night, whatever you want. You can add these peppers. So you don't have to use that one.
Okay.
That was just a bonus pepper. And then Kate will actually pour in some apple cider vinegar here. Yes. She's using a half a teaspoon, of course, because we're only using a few peppers. So, of course, you want to eyeball it. Use the recipe I have on the screen, or cut it in half if you need to. But again, you can always use this for a while, and it does have a good shelf life. It will stay in your fridge for at least about 3 months. And then you can season it whatever you like. Of course, I don't use the salt, so we have
garlic powder.
Garlic powder. And then what else do we have here?
We have onion powder and we have paprika.
Nice. So yeah, those 3 things will make this recipe really tasty. So you want to cook this down for about 30 to 40 minutes. Once you cook it down, it gets like a pasty kind of situation. And then, like I said, it's pretty much like a hot sauce. So you want to use this as opposed to the hot sauce you buy in the stores that's packed with sodium and things you don't even know. If you read the labels, read the ingredients, you don't even know half of the stuff that's in this hot sauce. So next we're going to actually do, while that cooks, a barbecue sauce. Very, very simple recipe. We literally have 3 things that we use as a staple, but of course you can season it with whatever you want. So go ahead.
Okay.
Kate's going to help us. She's going to put about
3/4 cup of ketchup.
Good job. 3/4 cup of ketchup. And of course, use any brand you like. Even if you want to, use tomatoes, if you want to roast some tomatoes off, crush them up, put those in here. Do we have enough for 3/4 cup? If you don't, whatever you have, of course, the recipe calls for 3/4 cup. If you need to cut it in half, you can always cut it in half. I'm big on eyeballing, so I could definitely tell if we don't have enough. Then you can kind of smack it. Let's smack a little bit. Get some of that in there. Ooh. Well, you can tell we used the last of it, right? So this is a great recipe to use if you only have a little bit of ketchup left. So you want to put the ketchup in your bowl, and then we're going to use tablespoons. So we have 2 tablespoons of your brown sugar here, and Kate will demonstrate putting that in. You could just probably put it over the bowl so it doesn't spill.
Yep.
And then she's gonna, after she puts 15 tablespoons of that in there, she'll use the mustard to use about 3 tablespoons of the mustard. Yeah, and this is a good recipe too because you don't have to cook it. Once you put all of the ingredients in your bowl, you can literally just stir it up and you have your barbecue sauce. So
easy as that.
Easy as that, right. So 3 of those there. Yeah, 1, 2, and 3. While Kate does that, I'm going to prepare for our next recipe here. If you do want to cook it, like sometimes I like to have like a stickier barbecue sauce. So if you do want to cook this barbecue sauce in your pan, that will get that brown sugar to really caramelize, and you'll get a really sticky barbecue sauce there. But at this point, you would just season it if you would like. Again, you can use paprika. If you look on the back of your barbecue sauces, there's usually paprika in the ingredients. You use paprika, garlic, onion, or whatever you have at home. Black pepper, things like that. I think I have some black pepper over here, Kate. You could add to that. Okay. And yeah, and that's all we do there. So at this point, we're gonna make some lentil tacos while Kate finishes doctoring this recipe up. So I have actually some lentils here. These lentils were actually canned lentils. If you have dried lentils, feel free to use them. I prefer lentils and maybe even split peas because they're so tiny you do not have to soak them. So you literally can put them in the pot, put the pot on high for about 30 minutes with some water. Don't forget the water. Put some water in there, put your lentils in there, boil them. They're done in no time. I say no time, it depends on how much lentils you use, but I actually have canned lentils here. The cans, of course, you want to find low or reduced sodium or even no salt in your canned lentils or canned vegetables or canned anything that you get. If you do get the cans, you want to open that can and rinse off whatever's in that can, and that helps to reduce some of that salt and things like that. Anything you want to add to that, Kate?
No, I don't think so.
I covered it all?
Yep, you did.
All right. So I have about a cup of lentils here. I have a little bit of water here. I will pour the lentils in the water here. And really at this point, because they're canned, I'm just warming them up. Because they're going to be the substitute for your ground beef or your chicken or whatever else you use for your tacos normally. You don't want a cold bean, you want a warm bean. So in addition to that, I realized that the taco seasonings that I was using at home were so full of sodium. I mean, it was like astronomical how much sodium was in that taco seasoning. So I've started making my own taco seasoning at home, and it takes just 3 simple ingredients. Of course, you could doctor it up so you could add more ingredients. But for the most part, you want 3 simple ingredients. The biggest thing is the cumin. You want the cumin, you want the chili, and you want some paprika. And paprika goes a long way. You don't use it in a lot of stuff. We've used it pretty much in every recipe today, but you don't use it in too many things. So once you buy paprika, it's pretty good for a long time. So Kate, you want to do the honors of making the taco seasoning?
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to use 2 tablespoons of chili powder. So 2 tablespoons of chili powder. Do you like tacos?
Yes, I love tacos.
Oh, love tacos. I love it. I think, I don't know if too many people don't like tacos because tacos are so versatile. You can make, a taco bowl. You can make nachos. You can make tacos. You can make burritos. There's so many things you could do with tacos. And on top of it, you know what, Kate, let's, I'm just going to take the top off. If you take the top off, it probably comes out a little easier. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, so you take the top off and it pours out a little easier.
Yeah.
And if you guys didn't know at home, take your top off. Let it flow out so you can pour it in. And then we're going to have 1 tablespoon of cumin. I'll take the top off for you. And then we're going to have 2 tablespoons of paprika. And then the garlic, you could put garlic, you could put onion powder, you could again put black pepper, whatever you'd like to do to spice this up. And while your lentils are cooking, you could be making this. And it's good because you're not going to use all this. Of course, you use it just to coat your lentils. But once you're done coating your lentils, you'll have this for next time. So now you don't have to buy it, from the store. You know how much salt is in there. None, right? We didn't put any salt in there. And on top of it, I was going to look for a spoon for Kate so she could stir this up. But on top of it, you can have it for later. So next time you go to make tacos, you already have your seasoning already prepared. So of course you want to double that recipe, triple that recipe, whatever you want to do to keep it in the cabinet. Let me show the viewers at home what it looks like.
It smells good.
And it looks just like the taco seasoning. All right. So guys, my favorite part of the day is coming where we get to taste all of these delicious recipes. You ready to taste some recipes?
Yes, I am.
Oh, good. So we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to try these recipes. I'll see you soon.
Boardwalks built for fun. Legendary rock and roll clubs.
This is how we do it. Hippity hop.
Casinos by the ocean.
Hippity hop.
Now that's New Jersey. 130 miles of beautiful beaches. Solid rock. And everything in between.
Look in the window.
Now that's New Jersey. Plan your New Jersey trip at visitnj.org. Waves of fun. Nights of excitement. And a trail of memories. Now that's New Jersey.
This plus this equals this plus this and this. Don't drink and drive.
Hi, welcome back again. This is my favorite part of the show, the eating part. Anyone out there that knows me knows I love some good food. So here we have our breaded chicken with the cornflakes. You want to try one?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get you a fork and you can try one of these chicken fingers there. I paired it, if you could look closely, and I don't know how close, I'm trying to get which camera could get this really good. This chili pepper relish here, if you notice all the beautiful colors here, and this will last a good like 6 months because it's so much here. A little bit goes a long way. Again, it's very spicy, and you flavor it to your liking. We have the barbecue sauce. Did you try the barbecue sauce?
Yes.
You tried it? All right, so the barbecue sauce here, and we paired it with a salad. Of course, we're trying to always use the My Plate method and trying to get all your vegetables and your protein and your dairy and everything in, and that's when we have our tacos here. But let me ask Kate, what do you think?
That's real good.
Really good, yeah, nice and crispy.
Yep.
'Cause that's the biggest thing, right? When you have a fried chicken or even an oven fried chicken, you want that crispiness. You want that crunch. On top of that, I was going to add that I actually cooked this the other day and left it in the refrigerator, put it in the refrigerator for leftovers, and took it out the next day, and it was still crispy. I took my fork and I was like, oh my goodness, it still has its crisp crunch flavor. So try this recipe at home. Again, you could use the corn flakes, you could use the bran flakes, you could use potato chips. It will all work out perfectly. So I'm glad you like it, Kate.
Yeah.
Here we have our tacos. Kate, would you like to try a taco there?
Yes, of course.
Okay, go ahead and grab one. So we have our tacos here. The tacos are filled with our lentils, and of course we top it with whatever toppings you like. We have our lettuce, our tomatoes. We have some fresh salsa, which we just made with some red onions and cilantro and things like that. We have our cheese, and we're actually using Greek yogurt. Plain Greek yogurt can be substituted for sour cream. Tastes similar. I will not say exactly the same, but very similar, and it's better for you. Try it. Buy a small one. There's individual ones. Just try it. Tell me what you think. And like I said, it's way more better than just your regular sour cream. So let's ask Kate, what do you think?
Tastes exactly like a taco.
Yeah, see? Taco like a taco. And that's because we used our own seasoning. We used that taco seasoning. You can use that taco seasoning on anything you like, any type of meat, whether it's lentils, whether it's black beans, any type of bean. Whether it's black beans, whether it's lentils, even your kidney beans. As long as you have that taco seasoning on there, you can fool the best critic.
Yep.
She agrees. And then on top of it, I wanted to mention, if you do have, say you have some taco shells that are crumbly at the, in your box or whatever, use it as a salad. Put some brown rice with it, add some of those lentils, add some of that tomatoes to it, and you have yourself a nice taco salad out of those broken tacos that you swore you couldn't use. So thank you, Kate, for coming today.
Thank you for having me.
I appreciate you, and I appreciate everything you're doing for the food bank. Again, she's a nutrition assistant. Look for some of those programs at foodbanksj.org underneath our health and wellness department. Bunch of programs for people of all ages, and I do mean that, all ages. Also, we are looking for donations. $1 equals 3 meals in the 4 counties that we serve: Burlington, Camden, Gloucester, and Salem counties. So go ahead to foodbanksj.org and donate $1, and it'll be very well deserved. So I'll see you next time on Hunger Bites, because quite frankly, hunger bites. See you next time.